Hello, Jared here, and I'm back. After a very long break, I just checked YouTube and it said that my last video was uploaded on April 15th, 2024. So this is by far the longest gap between videos I've ever had. So for anyone that cares, apologies for the wait, but I'm back just to kind of give an update. A lot has happened over a year. And because a lot's happened over a year, I also have a pretty substantial update, at least on the comic progress. As far as this video, it's more of just, I guess what I just said, a comic progress update and a life update, just to kind of let you know what's going on and what to expect coming up. But welcome, and I guess we can get started. So first off, just starting with the speed paint, this is not canon. I promise. This is not part of CASHMERE Sky, but some people might be bummed with me saying that. But I actually drew this last year, and I made a speed paint for it, and I completely forgot that I did. And yet I knew that I wanted to use this in a video at some point. And now that it is September of 2025, I know it's not Halloween yet. I still thought this would be a little fun to put on screen. It's pretty comprehensive from front to back, doing the entire speed paint. And it's basically just Enzo and Daphne kind of going Resident Evil, Mad Max style on a bunch of cat zombies. And I kept it in black and white personally because I liked that vintage aesthetic, but I gave it kind of a tinge of like a blue hue, if that makes sense. But I wanted to give it kind of a classic horror movie. And I made Daphne look like she's having way too good of a time, but hopefully it's not too much MA rated because it is black and white blood, guys. It's not red, even though we all know what's going on. But I always thought also logically from zombies, having a chainsaw would be a really bad idea because the whole point of zombies is the bites, and a lot of movies is the blood. So if you get blood anywhere in your eyes or nose or mouth, well, you're infected. You don't even have to get bit. So I don't know if Daphne's got the best one, but it's got a long blade on it, so maybe she'll figure it out. Enzo's got the Spaz 12 shotgun, so I think he's going to be okay there. And I gave him kind of a Leon Kennedy vibe when I did this. So I don't know, this piece was a lot of fun for me. So as far as life updates go, not much has really changed drastically over the last year, whether that's a good or a bad thing. But it's been chugging along, and I've basically just been working and trying to work on the comic. I will say that this year, especially through the summer up until about this point, work has really been taking a lot over my life lately. There's been a lot of new stresses going on. I had some oral surgery. It's fine. It's totally good. But I was in pain for a few weeks, and when you're in pain, that makes everything suck. So that wasn't fun for me, but I did get through it. And as I'm speaking now, I'm pretty much out and clear. So that is good news. But as far as everything else, unfortunately, the comic has been hitting, now I don't want to say a hiatus, but it is definitely slowed down. Slowed down. Mainly from a hybrid of, one, just life getting in the way, and two, Volume 3, if I'm going to be honest, it's really kicking my ass. There's a lot of scenes. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a masochist with my writing, but a lot of this book requires so much background work. And because of that, pages are taking forever for me to get done. And I've got, 26 pages complete, and that's it. I haven't even started on page 27 yet, or maybe it's 25 pages complete. No, it's 26. It's 26. And I don't plan to release volume 3 to get started with my Patreon followers until I hit around 40 to 44 pages. My fear is that because these pages are taking so much longer, I don't know if 40 to 44 is going to be enough for the buffer to make sure that once this starts, it completes all the way to the end for about a solid 2 to 3 years. So my worst nightmare is running out of pages when I'm in the middle of the book or even near the end of the book, and then you guys have to wait months for me to actually finish it up. So I really try to avoid that. So I'm just kind of taking my time, because once I hit go and once I hit green, then that's the next 2.5 to 3 years of my life. So I just want to be really careful before I give that green light, but I'm constantly giving updates to my Patreon followers. And thank you guys so much for supporting me, because I know it's been kind of a act of patience to get through this. So thank you up to this point. So I really appreciate it. And to reiterate on kind of the life circumstances, it's allowed me to do a lot of thinking and a lot of resetting over this year. I've had a lot of things change for better and worse. And when you start to get older, you start to get some perspective and see what matters and what doesn't matter. And some of the things that we hold on to, we find can get toxic over time. And I started to realize some of that. And just to give you an example, I quit 2 social media channels this year. I stopped Facebook and Instagram. I tried to get rid of all these incredible time wasters and just ad feed systems. They weren't serving me any purpose. I didn't really have anyone following me on them. Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't care. There was so much toxicity and just time wasting, and I would find myself scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for hours, not doing anything. And I went, oh my God, I just wasted 2 hours of my life tonight on the couch. So I realized these aren't doing anything for me anymore. And so the only networks I really use now are Twitter and Blue Sky, and they're just exclusively for comic updates. So that's what I try to use them as, and then just kind of focus on everything else in life, whether it's cleaning the house or working on the comic or just working my job, got to pay the bills, all that stuff. So that's just one example. And then another one, just a lot of personal things, life things, resets, should I say, in kind of a social sphere. You realize that sometimes things that were once good for you kind of go sour. And before you realize it, it's just not working anymore. And once I realized that, I realized what I had to do. And once I did and shed some of those bad practices, I felt immensely better, and I haven't looked back. So, life's a journey, and I'm on mine, and this is the next chapter. And I'm hoping that it's a bit of a brighter future, which leads me into another part. I'm going to be taking a hiatus from cons for probably the next year. I'm not going to be at MFF. I'm not going to be at mini cons. I will go to Indiana Comic Con coming up. Well, if they accept me, but they did last year, so I'm hoping they do again this year. So I'll probably go to Indiana Comic Con. I may apply to Anthrocon for next year. But other than that, I'm done for 2025 and at least a lot of the beginning of 2026. So just a heads up, I'm going to do a full reset with my booth, and I want to do a lot of new artwork. I kind of want to rejuvenate my table a little bit and maybe even downsize it, because I've always done 2 tables, but I found that when I do 1 table, which I've done a few times, that works pretty well. So it's a lot cheaper and it's a little bit less setup. So I might be doing more of that in the coming future. So just like any video, as far as the comic is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and throw up some slides. I'm going to put a whole bunch of them up here because, boy howdy, like I said, it's been a long time. So I don't want to give away too much, but just to show you why Volume 3 is taking so long, you're going to see it in these slides. Lots and lots of background work. I really wanted to show the world of Ion Valley because I realized in my earlier volumes I would keep scenes very small, very intimate, but this time I'm wanting to go big. I want people to see, no, Ion Valley, Highbolt City, totally bustling towns, just cats everywhere, cat people all over the place. So I really wanted to convey that a sense of life. And with that comes the caveats of, wow, this is a lot of work, but the payoff is nice once you get it done. It just takes a lot of patience to get there. So as you can see, lots going on. I'm really excited for the next scene that I'm going to be doing, and not to give any spoilers, but it's a scene where Arlo and Daphne meet for the first time, and it's a fun one. It's one I wrote a long time ago, and I can't wait to actually draw it so people can see what happens, because I think some people have been in this situation, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun to see how it turns out. But I will also say in Volume 3, it is a lot. Let me put it this way. I don't hold back. There are some scenes and some moments in Volume 3 where it's going to hit harder than anything you've ever seen. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. And as they say, conflict tells a great story. I've learned through some of my writing. And let's just say that I dig deep and then I dig deeper. And then after I get down to that bedrock, I keep trying to get to the bedrock. So you're going to see some things happen through with some of these characters, and let's just put it this way. It's going to be not as resolved as you would like. But that's the beauty of storytelling and how you can see where that's going to take you. So really excited about that, but it's going to be a while till I get there. Other than that, that's really all I have to say. I don't want to get too long-winded and everything, but just thought I would say, hey, I'm still here. Comic's still going. It's just little different. I've been doing this over 10 years. This whole idea, this whole experiment, this whole drawing journey started all the way back in January of 2014, and here I am still doing it. It's pretty wild. So I appreciate everyone in my life and online and all my supporters that have supported me up to this point. You guys have been awesome, and I hope to keep churning out something that you all enjoy, and hopefully we can experience this story together. So anyway, I'll do the typical cringy like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.